My name is Stuart and I'm a Senior Director at an organisation called the World Energy Council. And the World Energy Council has been going for 93 years and it's a network of energy leaders and policymakers across the world in 100 countries dedicated to providing sustainable energy for the greatest benefit of all. The World Energy Congress is an event that is built of our history. Every 3 years we gather all technologies, all energies, and ministers and heads of state to actually look at energy in a much more sustainable way. Our last meeting took place in Istanbul last month, where we brought together a lot of work that we've been considering for the last 3 years. We've been assessing across the world how the energy world is changing. And one of the things that we had highlighted is that there is a significant shift in the way that energy is being produced and consumed, and this change is unstoppable now. And then we looked at how that might be in 2060. Very much bottom up, using our network in 100 countries. We had 70 people working on this report, over 14 workshops across the world, looking at what that future might hold. And we have 3 scenarios. One of them is called Unfinished Symphony, which is here at COP. We've passed through all of the gateways, all the NDCs are there. We still see we're not making the 2-degree world, but it's certainly a focus, that policy drive. We also have a modern jazz, which is much more consumer-led and technology-led. And what are those trends? What are the markets going to drive? And then we noticed as we developed this work that there is a trend globally for more insular-looking, more trade barriers, and that might have a different impact, and that changes things. So when we modelled that, there is many different outcomes for the energy sector, but all of it shows that we're going to expand blow the carbon budget by about between 2045 and 2055. So what we need to do is increase our efforts and looking at those dimensions of what we call the energy trilemma to deliver a more sustainable supply of energy for the greatest benefit of all. So one of the things that we have done over the last 7 years now, is having a conversation with policymakers and businesses about what energy should be. Not just about energy security, but looking at the social dimension under energy equity and the environment. And for us, having those 3 in balance provides a much more sustainable energy system. And we were very fortunate before Paris and before the Peruvian COP that Christiana Figueres supported that work and getting that into the conversation nationally with energy ministries and with environment ministries, so that there's a conversation that's not just based around energy security, it's a much more sustainable and broad conversation around energy sustainability. Well, energy efficiency is vital. We actually produced a report this morning here at COP looking at how much energy or CO2 has been saved over the last 15 years by the drive for energy efficiency. And it's actually 7 gigatons of CO2 has been saved over the last 15 years by just energy efficiency alone. Now that's 21% of all energy production. Now that's significant. Now one of the difficult things is that we've noticed that the trend for that is declining. Globally, 1.6% per year used to be the downward trend or the increasing in energy efficiency. We're now at about 1.3%, and we need to be at 2.6% to meet our climate target challenges. So again, this is sharing that knowledge and getting that conversation about the importance of energy efficiency as part of the wider energy mix. We're going to need all technologies. There will be fossil fuel in the system because of the system that we have, but then we need to think about carbon capture and storage, a much more balanced system, and we do see that there will be so much more renewables into the system, but then we need to manage that more effectively so that people have sustainable and access to energy that they should deserve.